What's going on, guys? Larry here, doing a little laboring on Labor Day in the form of legs. Gonna wait on my training partner for a few minutes for the morning, although I doubt he will show up, but we will see. I'll shoot him a text and he'll probably be like, "Can you wait on me?" And I'm like, we'll see. Love you, dog, but I got things to do today, namely laundry. So, big thing today. I had a podcast with Dr. Mike Israel. Me and Vaughn asked a gamut of questions, and the one thing that has been on my mind is RIR, reps in reserve, right? So if you've been following along with what I've been posting and things that I've posted online and all that, you know that I have been following a RPE, rate of perceived exertion, for about the last close to 4 years, right? Started off using it with Gauntlet by John Meadows, and then kept using it because I kept following his programming. Did my own programming, still use that, and I use it when I program people or write programs, for mass distribution. So after talking with Dr. Mike and looking at a lot of his stuff on the Renaissance Periodization YouTube page, reading his stuff on renaissanceperiodization.com, I'm going to give RIR a fair shot, right? So the way that it was explained, the way that I picked it up from the podcast, and you'll have it later on this week after I do some heavy editing to it. A lot of technical difficulties. Zoom sucks. RPE, good for strength, things of that nature. Not strength, but within a certain rep range. Whereas RIR, for hypertrophy purposes, is a little bit more accurate. So it goes by 3, 2, 1, and 0 RIR. So basically the way that he explained it is that 3 RIR, anything with an absolute number behind it is like gun to your head. If you did this, that'd be all that you can do. So for instance, this is the first week of me following it, right? So I'm kind of going to set my numbers of what 3 reps in reserve are. So, and I may be wrong, but I'll set it where I can, the last 3 reps will be, that's all I could do, right? So we're going to play around with this. I'm really new to it. There's going to be some mistakes made. I'm not going to get it right out the gate. So for anybody that's going to watch this video, look at me, listen to me, I'm not going to get it right out the gate. So if y'all got some recommendations, great. Please give them to me. Let me know. But this is going to be very hokey for the first few rounds. And, we'll go from there. All right, let's get to it, guys.
All right, as usual, starting off with leg curls. So more about me using RI reps in reserve for this particular exercise. So this is something that over time I've gotten significantly stronger at, but I'm not as strong as I could be, right? Especially on this particular model that you see here. So warm-up sets, no reps in reserve was really a sign. Really, I'm just trying to feel the muscle through a full range of motion, good contraction, good extension. All right, so I go through about 3 of these. Now, for the first work set, you'll see that I hit about 8 to 10 reps. I believe it was 10. And keeping in mind what Dr. Mike said during the podcast is like 3 reps, gun to your head, you complete 3 more reps, right? So I purposely left about 3 reps in the tank, right? Then for the second one, I believe it was reps in RIR 2. I nailed around about 7, 8 reps. So I went ahead and just left 2 in the tank there, which it was actually pretty difficult. Now I did a back off set, and there were the reps after the work sets, the RIR I made at 3 just because of the pre-fatigue from the heavier stuff. But really, with back off sets, I don't really assign a RIR to those. At least how I'm using the technique, right? Um, so for leg press, I want you to keep in mind that my warm ups are just that, they're warm ups. So I'm not doing a ton of reps anymore, or feeder sets. Some days I will, depending upon how crappy I feel. But overall, I will just keep it at a couple of sets and just slowly build up as the weights progress onward. Now, in regards to using reps and reserves for this, um, I I wanted to play a conservative, right? So I wanted to keep it at a reps and reserve 3 for all of my sets. But to be honest with you, if I did that, I may as well have done a pump session. So I think I labeled my first work set with 6 plates, a RIR 3, but it could have been a 2. So basically, what I'm getting at is that I overshot most of my reps in reserve, at least for this exercise. So, again, as I said at the beginning of the video, it's not going to be perfect. Um, I'm still working my way through it. Um, so, like, me overshooting is going to be going to take a while. Um, range of motion on it is on this leg press is pretty decent. I wanted to go lower, but I felt like some real bad seizing in my lower back, so I couldn't go as deep as I had hoped. Um, but in any event, still felt a fantastic uh, pump in my quads. Um, so six is kind of like my base number for what I need to progress on as far as reps and reserve go. If I can get to a RIR 3 on a consistent basis over 3 sets with this weight, then that's where for me the progress will lie. Um, I could easily do 8 reps, but they're not, well, not easily, but I could throw on 8 plates and really go to town, but definitely those would be a reps in reserve of 0, because I would blow my absolute wad on it. But it will make for cool video, I suppose. But we're not even gonna go that route right now. Moving on to hack squats. So I wanted to start off as something with RIR of about 2, maybe 1. I think I left about 2 in the tank here, and then I dropped the weight down with the goal of it being an RIR 3. Um, that didn't happen. Again, uh, overshot and ended up having 2 plates and a quarter, being more of a RIR 2 or a 1. Um, so 3 sets here, 1 main working set, 2 back off sets. Um, Probably could have made it 2 working sets, but definitely would have pushed myself to an RIR of about um, 1 or 0. Really working hard to go ahead and get real deep in my hack squats, get a good stretch in the quads, keep my heels on the pad, and really just don't use any momentum to come up. So that's what I'm working on with this exercise. But overall, the method of reps in reserve, um, it's really something. It's really a interesting concept. Uh, it's something that I'm looking forward to. There's a caveat to it, though. And a friend of mine that I expressed that I'm doing RIR to, and basically he feels that numbers that measure effort is kind of a crutch. and I'm not going to disagree with him. It very well may be a crutch. I've been using some type of number in my powerlifting for a number of years when I was doing it. It just kind of carried over to bodybuilding, and it recently came back when I started doing John Meadows type programming and using an RPE scale. So it could very well be a crutch. So that's very much something to remember for me. Right now, I need a number to describe the effort I'm supposed to put in. Okay, so if you haven't been following me, all right, look, guys, I'm 41 years old. I need to know when to back off and when to go hard. And if left to my own devices, I'm going to do every fucking machine in the gym. I will do it. I need to have that governor of a number. Now, there's going to be some days where I'm just like, fuck it, I'll go hard and do 20 sets for legs or whatever. That day is what it is. But I definitely need that number to kind of guide my training towards. So that's what I'm looking at right now, guys. So we'll be documenting this RIR journey for quite a while. See where it leads. So hopefully you all can take a look at it. Take a look at Dr. Mike. Take a look at the Renaissance periodization, and then try it out and form your own opinions on things. Again, this is just something that I want to try out and go from there on. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments below and let me know what you think. That's all I'm asking. So try it out and get back to me.
Okay, first RIR session in the books went okay. It wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be to kind of shift from that mindset of RPE to RIR. It's essentially the same thing when you're in certain rep ranges. But I felt I'm still feeling out the RIR. I won't go further than that just because I'm still feeling it out. So volume was low-ish, 3 working sets per exercise. And then now we just go home and recover. So if you're gonna do RIR, it's a very advanced concept. Even I'm having trouble with it. As you can see, I overshot a lot, and I did that in the beginning with rated perceived exertion. So I'm not too worried about it. I got legs later on, so I backed off on the hack squat a little bit. So other than that, I kind of felt everything was in the right reps and reserve range. But if it wasn't, the wonderful thing about this is that it's not, contrary to Dr. Mike, what he advised. I don't have particular exercises. I mean, I do, but I don't at the same time. I'm kind of merging my own training knowledge with this concept of reps and reserve. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not a big scientific person, so it's hard to shift into that mindset, right? So we'll go from there and see how things go. Hopefully YouTube doesn't silence this link for the simple fact that, I think it's good information, but in any event, let's keep it moving. All right, y'all have a wonderful day. This will probably go up on Tuesday, so I hope you all had a wonderful Labor Day, and let's keep the gains coming in the fourth quarter. We still got to get to 2021, y'all, and we got a few months left, so let's love each other. Let's keep each other lifted in prayer. Let's motivate. We're coming up on a very hard time. I'm not going to expound there where a lot of us are split where we're trying to take the country, but be respectful at the end of the day. And if you're not going to do that, stay away from me. So that's all I got to say. Y'all have a good one, y'all.